Okay, this is Jim Wallace. I'm here with Luke Peterson. Hi, Luke.
Hi.
How's your day going?
Going well so far.
And Luke is both a clarinet player and chief of staff and operations officer.
That's correct.
So let's talk a little bit about, first of all, your background. Where are you from?
I'm from Spokane, Washington. I grew up in the Detroit area, but I've been in Spokane for the last couple of years.
So you're quite a ways from home.
That's true.
Do you go home very often?
Once or twice a year.
Okay. So we have other students, I think, in the band from Washington.
We do, yeah. None from Spokane besides myself, though.
You know, I used to travel to Spokane quite a bit.
Really?
The state of Washington was in my division, and so I spent time in Seattle and in Spokane. There's this college in Spokane.
Yeah, Gonzaga.
Yeah, Gonzaga. Good basketball team, usually.
Usually.
Sometimes. So, you grew up in Spokane?
I've been there for the last 7 or 8 years.
Okay. And tell me about how old were you when you picked up the clarinet?
Actually, it was only 7th grade.
7th, so you're a little later. A lot of times it's 5th or 6th, I think.
That's right.
Yeah. And you decided to come to Purdue because why?
For the engineering program.
Okay, so you're an engineering major. What mechanical or?
Yeah, I'm a co-op student, so I am a senior right now in mechanical engineering. I'll be graduating next year.
Good for you. You've been in the band how many years?
This will be year number 4.
Okay, and besides playing the clarinet, are you a rank leader or anything in the section?
Yes, I'm a rank leader with the clarinet section.
So that has responsibilities to it.
It keeps me busy, yeah.
Yeah, but not as many responsibilities as come with being operations head.
That's right.
I don't think most people that follow this website or the band understand what operations does. I'd like to ask you a couple questions about that. Take me through a normal Wednesday, Thursday practice rehearsal for the All-American Marching Band. What are your responsibilities on a regular weekday?
Sure. Usually I'll take time during the day to sit down with directors to figure out what strange things will be coming up for the following weekend, because many times Saturday morning isn't enough for us to prepare for the game. And then after that, it's down to business. It's getting people organized to block streets for the marching band going down 3rd Street and coming back, and making sure our equipment both works and is ready to go.
So you're responsibility for all the sound equipment on the whole field, right?
That's right.
And the vehicles, the trucks and the Polaris and the Gator?
Brand new Gator this year. We love it.
And you use them all?
We're trying to keep the Gator as nice as possible, but yes, we do use them all.
It'll only be a matter of time before it gets used well.
That's right.
How many are in your office, in the operations office?
Ooh, this year I want to say we've got probably 25 officers. Okay,
and tell me why somebody would want to be in operations. You work very hard and long hours.
You know what, honestly, outside, an errand here and there, or an outrageously early call time on a Saturday morning before a game, the amount of time it takes to be part of this office is actually fairly small compared to other offices. Most of the work we do happens during rehearsal time. So
like you're directing traffic for while the band marches down 3rd Street.
That's right.
Stopping traffic rather.
You got it.
And directing it too, I guess. Now when the band travels, you have a host of responsibilities, as you did for the Notre Dame game.
That's right.
What does a normal day like that look like?
It's hard to describe a normal day when we travel. The way I describe the overarching kind of task for my office is putting out fires as they come up. Whenever there's a problem or something needs to get done quickly, the directors always come to operations first, because they know that we'll be able to make a snap decision and do work, get it done.
And you're in direct communications with the directors at all times?
Yes, I'll get texts in the middle of the night from Dr. Nave asking me to do things.
Well, not only that, but like you'll have an earphone or whatever you call that thing that plugs in your ear where people can talk to you.
That's right. Yep.
And other people in your office also have communications direct with the directors.
That's right.
So during a game day, what does that look like? So you have to start early, right?
We do. Our call time is usually 2 to 2.5 hours before the call time for the rest of the marching band.
So this Saturday, for example, the call time might be, what, 7:30?
Right, so we'll probably be here 5 to 5:30 with our coffee and donuts, scrambling, getting ready for the day.
And did you spend the night up here one time, operations?
So we did, we did this past weekend, part of that was a social thing. You know, it's just kind of a tradition each year to lock ourselves in LA for the night, get some of our projects done, and you know, just hang out. But you know, years past, last year in fact, we actually, out of necessity, had to spend the night in Elliott to take care of the lighting units for the Notre Dame game last year.
Oh yes, that was fun. I bet.
I think I had 2 hours of sleep that night.
2 hours sleep?
Mm-hmm.
There's almost no reason to go to sleep at that point.
Right.
Huh? Yeah. So on a game, you report 2 to 2.5 hours in advance of the call time for the rest of the band.
Mm-hmm.
You go through the day. You have many responsibilities, some of which you do on a normal weekday: direct traffic, stop traffic, and so on.
That's right.
You also have to take all the equipment into Ross-Ade Stadium. You have to take care of the Mackey Arena event, I assume, some of that.
Yep.
And how does your day end?
Day ends, you know, kind of undoing what we've already done, bringing all of our equipment back, making sure it all gets taken care of, and putting it away. And you know, with these hot games, you know, we've kind of helped run a makeshift triage unit as people start suffering from
Heat.
Exhaustion and whatnot.
Yeah.
And, you know, this year, I kind of changed the role that ops officers play. I've been first aid certified since high school, and I've had most of my officers get certified as well. You know, I figure since we control and we stock the med kit, it's kind of important that we know how to use it. So we're kind of first responders from that aspect as well.
Well, and I know Meg Hiley stays fairly busy at times too with the heat issues.
She's a great asset, yeah.
Now, besides ops head, you're also chief of staff.
That's right.
Can you describe what chief of staff is?
Chief of staff is sort of the chief of staff. The way I like to think about it is the #1 liaison between the student offices and the directors. We have 7 student offices this year, and while I am in charge of my office, I am also really the go-to between those office heads and the directors. You know, I am involved with, you know, outside of the offices, I keep track of gigs for the entire marching band. I also help shape some of the policies that govern the marching band. You know, and I take care of kind of general office core things. This year we're really focusing on making an office core, rather than you have a supply officer and an operations officer. You have 2 officers for the Purdue Marching Band Officer Corps, one who specializes in operations and one who specializes in supply.
Can you describe what a gig is for those who don't know?
Sure. A gig is a demerit point. If you're misbehaving when you're in uniform, or if you're with the band,
Or you're late, right?
or you're late, or you're out of uniform, or you do something that does not maintain the standards that we have for this marching band, you basically get a little black mark next to your name. If you accumulate enough of those, you automatically are designated as a GDS, game day staff, which we try not to use as a punitive thing, generally speaking. But in this case, if you accumulate enough gigs, we say, you know what, we want you to shape up, we want you to sit out for the next game.
Does it affect one's grade?
Historically it has, but now I don't think it does.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure, you know, if you're being put on GDS every single week,
Sure.
because of, you know, things like that, it might not hurt your grade, but they might ask you to leave the organization.
And lastly, Luke, how in the world do you do all this? You're a full-time student, you're office head, you're chief of staff, you're a rank leader. How do you find any extra time?
You know, really it comes down to building a team that works. The only reason I'm able to do all this is because I've got very, very competent working for me and with me, and I've empowered them to, you know, I joke, I say, I want you guys to be so competent in what you do that I don't have to do my job, you can do it for me. And I think that's what it comes down to.
And you probably don't waste a lot of time.
I try my best not to.
Yeah, I bet. All right, well, thank you very much. Anything else you wanted to add before we wrap this up?
I don't think so.
Okay, thanks for coming in and doing this today.
Yep, boiler up.
Have a good one. You got it.